All right, so let's talk about making a pixel perfect camera. So someone had asked this earlier. I can't remember who in the chat had asked, like, how do you support all the different resolutions of Android? And there's no silver bullet for it, but one of the things that I do is I usually create two different types of camera scripts. One is a camera script that follows the player, and the other one is that resizes the camera in order to scale to what the best resolution is. So in this case, let's create the first camera script. So we're going to create a new script, and we'll call this Pixel Perfect Camera. And we'll open this up. And in this Pixel Perfect Camera, we're going to create some properties. So in our class, let's go here. We're going to do a public static property. Actually, in this game, I don't think we're going to need it. I'll just make it a public property. And this is going to be a float. And what we need to know is the pixels to units. And in this case, we're going to set this to 100F because that's what they are set to. This could actually be an int. I don't know. This is an older version of the script. I have some more updated ones. Basically, let's see. The other thing that I want to do next is going to be, we want to set up a scale. So here we'll do public float scale equals 1. And I was sort of talking about this before. The idea is that we need to find the scale value of what the ideal resolution is, like what I designed this for, and then what the difference is between the resolution we're running at. And from there, we can scale things up or down in order to match that resolution. So let's see here. So the other thing we'll do is we need to create the native resolution. So we'll do a public vector to native resolution. And we'll make this a new vector 2, and I'm going to set this to 800 by 480, which is sort of where I originally designed this game to be. And we can get rid of the update method. We don't need this. Let's do awake. And when this camera script loads up, the first thing we wanted to do is figure out what the scale is and set the orthographic camera to that. So we're going to need a reference to the camera. So we'll do var camera equals get component camera. We'll attach this to a camera game object. Next, we want to come up with what the scale is. So scale equals screen height divided by the native resolution, y. So if you were doing a portrait game, you would do the width. Since this game is landscape, we're doing the height. So we take the screen height and we divide it by the native resolution height, and this gives us our scale value. From our scale value, what we need to do is figure out what the pixels to units value is, and this is how we're going to readjust the orthographic size based on what the pixels to units is after we've calculated the scale. So in this case, pixels to units multiplied equals scale. Now we can't, whoops, what did oh, I know why, this is a float. I remember now why this needs to be a float, because I'm multiplying it by a scale. So the pixels to units, we're not going to change this for the game. Like our monster is always going to be at the same pixels to units. We actually can't change that value at runtime, but what we can do is change the camera size. So we'll do camera.orthographic size, and here we're going to make it equal, we'll do screen height divided by 2. So the reason we're doing this, we're dividing this by 2, is that we need to get this width right here, which is halfway mark. Then we're going to divide this by the pixels to units and save this out. So if I go to my camera here and I attach this Pixel Perfect camera, you'll see we have our pixel units set to 100, our scale is 1, and our native resolution is 800 by 480. Pay attention to the size. The size is set to 3. If I run the game right now, you'll see the size has now been changed to 2.4.